welcome to all of you joining me here at the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena in the heart of beautiful downtown Boise. We have a wonderful show match of Valorant today here. We are bringing you a Broncos versus ICCU team show match. They're going to be the green team for us. And joining me today, we have a very special co-caster. We will be joined by Maddie. Nerdy Bird is going to be my co-caster alongside me. We will be bringing you this show match, and before we do that, we're going to take a quick look at our wonderful surroundings here in the arena that is so generously hosted by Game Pants. We have this match coming out for you today. We have, I believe, it's the green team of Valorant. The green team of Valorant will be joining against our opponents on the ICCU show match team. It's just a fun little best of three we're going to be throwing together here. There aren't too many stakes or money or anything like that going down on the line, but it's great practice, and as the playoffs approach, we are going to need all the practice we need against potentially very heavy-hitting opponents that could be arriving during any round. You know, we did get to see one of our teams advance past the round of 32 last night and into the round of 16. So we'll see if this match that we're joining into right now between the Boise State Broncos and the ICCU show match team will be good practice for the upcoming rounds of the Valorant tournament that we will be getting more into later as the playoffs go on. Before we get started with the game, though, I would love to ask you a real quick question, Nerdy Bird. What do you think will be the biggest keys to success or defeat for the Boise State team?
So Tim, what's going to be the keys to success? Because I don't know Valorant at all.
Well, I'd like to answer my own question, if that's all right.
Please.
I would love to just say that the things you're going to want to watch out for as we go into this match are the angles that are peaked, the information that is gained. Information is ridiculously key here in Valorant. Who is where is one of the biggest parts of knowing which angles to peak, because TTK, time to kill for our viewers, is very low in Valorant. You go down in just about one shot from most guns, which means you are going to be spending quite a bit of time peaking angles and playing very carefully because threat is high. So knowing who is where before the fight begins is just about everything. As well as each agent has, you know, unique abilities and things like that that they can fall back on to gain information and clear zones and take out areas and things like that, and which agents have which cooldowns used and which ones are currently available for use will play a really big impact in this game as well, because it will help us or will help each team determine you know, which players could be potentially where and what may need to happen next in the firefight and things like that. So
Okay, so beyond that, my next question is what do you do in this game besides, you know, shoot the enemy player until they stop moving, so to speak? Because, you know, that's something that exists in Overwatch, it's something that's in League of Legends, but, you know, there is a overarching goal per game that exists, like in Overwatch, depending on the map, you have a payload, escort, hybrid, you know, so to speak. What is the objective in Valorant?
The objective is to either attack or defend several points on the map. The map can vary the number of points and the size of the points, but those are locations where a bomb can be planted. Now, the bomb is called the spike. When the bomb is planted, it will continue to tick down until it eventually explodes. The attacking team will win if they can plant the bomb and have it go off, or kill all of the defenders. The defending team will win if they can kill all the attackers, or defuse the bomb after it has been planted.
Okay, sounds easy enough. It honestly sounds a lot like a Call of Duty game mode.
It might be.
It is. It most definitely is a Call of Duty game mode.
Well, there you go. Excellent. I haven't spent too much time with Call of Duty, so let's launch right into the map, and we can get a little bit of an example in action here of how this is going to work. We're going to be on the Haven map, which is a little bit unique because obviously this game shares a lot of similarities with Call of Duty and especially Counter-Strike, as previously mentioned. But what's unique about Haven specifically is it has 3 points, which is pretty unique for Valorant specifically, but also I believe one of the only maps in any Counter-Strike or one of its variants that does have 3 points. So that means it can tend to be a little bit attacker-sided because it can make the defenders a little bit thinly spread as they try to cover all 3 points. As we look right here, it looks like they're going to be sending some of their utility in Your Hat and Booty Bandito. Looks like we're going to be having the green team, the same ones that we got to witness last night during our broadcast, are going to be locking down point A here as we have a little bit of some shots exchanged. Booty Bandito taking a couple shots from heaven. We'll get a couple wall bangs onto Sanchez. Gets 3, the third onto Cersei on the raise there, and Lycan will pick up one of his own onto Jumping Armadillo. We've got a 4 versus 1 player advantage as Your Hat will pick up the 4th. Boise State with the 1-0 lead early on in the round here as the green team fall down during the first pistol round.
So is it safe to assume the round lasts until everybody's dead?
Most of the time. Sometimes, in the event that the bomb is planted, its timer can eventually play a part in things. So, for example, if the attackers plant the bomb and there's only 1 or 2 defenders left, but they have very valuable guns, they can save those guns by hiding in the corner of the map until the round ends, because anything you have on you when the round ends is carried forward to the next round. And anything you have, any guns you're carrying on you when you die are dropped and can be picked up by the enemy team. So that quick exchange right there with Your Hat taking a shot onto Sanchez down the sight of C Long, and Lycan getting a headshot of his own, putting the Boise State team up at a quick 2-0 man advantage. Shot being put through the smoke here, but the spray comes down as Your Hat picks up another one as Soldier will get the Ares spray onto Casket. There's just one remaining. He's hiding in the cover. No, it is not going to make any difference that he had the advantage. He is going to be taken down. Your Hat with 3 in that round with some excellent Omen play. Looking out in the crest. So after the first two rounds, for any viewers who are maybe a little bit unfamiliar with the game, are generally known as pistol rounds because the amount of money that you gain from each round is determined by what happens a little bit in that round. And in the first 2 rounds, your money is quite low, so you can normally only buy pistols, which is why those 2 rounds are generally known as pistol rounds. As the game goes on, more and more expensive and powerful guns will eventually become available, and the team that's winning will generally have better economy so that they're able to take down enemy players quicker and more effectively. Wow, Pickle Fork with the early buy onto the Marshall is going to get the takedown needed across C Long, I believe. Booty Bandito going to answer back with 2 headshots of his own. Pickle Fork with another headshot using that Vandal. Booty Bandito will silence Pickle Fork quickly, getting the 4th in the round. Oh, Lycan, why you got to do my boy like that? You taking away his ace. Oh, that's not teamwork right there. That's not very cash money of you, Lycan.
Okay, so the other thing that I'm noticing is this buying phase. So I'm assuming that's when players are able to pick up these weapons that you're talking about. And does the buying phase kind of change a little bit per round because of the access of weaponry and the amount of money that they'll pick up based off the actions they performed in the previous round? So like that affects this or what? It
absolutely does. So you're going to buy, your abilities are all bought except for your ultimate, and your guns and armor are bought during the buy phase. So the team, you know, if they win in a pretty dominant fashion, they're probably going to have their guns left over and their armor, so they can save that money and use it on more powerful guns later in the round. Whereas teams that lose quite frequently are going to be a pretty desperate economic advantage. That's going to mean they're going to have to buy, you know, weaker guns potentially because they just don't have the cash to spare from, you know, saving guns from previous rounds.
That's a whole new level of gameplay that I don't want to ever have to deal with.
It's actually really fun and pretty intuitive when you you know, get to know it a little bit more. The system rewards aggressive play, and it creates a whole new layer of strategy from round to round because it's about setting yourself up for the best success as each round begins. So if, for example, what we see here is that Pickle Fork on the sage there is just holding a ghost. She's just got the pistol. So her chances of success, especially in a 1v4, are quite low. But if she can take out anybody, which is not going to happen as Dreammaker will spray her down with the Odin, she can make an economic dent in that situation in, you know, the Boise State team's buying phase. So what that means is, you know, if they lose or drop an extremely expensive gun that they had spent a lot of money on because she takes them down right before the round ends, then they would have to either invest the money to buy another one, or if they can't afford it, they'll have to go with a weaker gun. So having the economy and the credits saved up to buy the most powerful guns in the rounds that you need the most is a big part of the metagame here in VAL. As Your Hat with the AWP, this is the best gun in the game, arguably, is going to take down across C Long. Now that is absolutely oppressive. Somebody with the operator is nigh unkillable in a long sight line like this, because it's so hard to land the shots you need before your head gets taken off, just like that. Waldo Sanchez excellently watching the flank there with the Marshall, gets the headshot, but Your Hat with his third using the op just got that C-sight and long point just locked down. The blind coming out on Waldo Sanchez. He's going to try to escape, but Legit Soldier with the Ares is going to spray him down, and Boise State picks up their 5th round of the match here. Very clean.
What is the round score that Boise State's trying to get to right now?
The players play to first to 13. But after 12 rounds, the teams will swap. Attackers will become defenders and vice versa. So, you know, in the event that the round is quite close, the idea is that they swap at the halfway point. However, if one team is incredibly dominant, then the game is almost over by the time they swap. But when you actually, you know, think about it and do the math together, what it means is that one team has to win more rounds on both sides of the map than the other team can, is how that eventually adds up to.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's a little unfair, but still kind of fair.
It can be. So there is some debate on some maps about whether or not attacking or defending first puts you at an advantage or a disadvantage. But for the most part, it, in theory, mathematically should be fair, because there are a maximum of 26 rounds. And you have to win enough of them on both attacking and defending that you have more attacking and defending wins than your opponents could theoretically get.
That just sounds like tennis math to me.
It can be a little bit, but you know, you play a few rounds and it eventually kind of just becomes intuitive nature, especially by the time you're in a close match. The halfway reset also really helps to give a comeback for the team that could potentially be behind, because when you switch halves, all of your guns and abilities are reset to 0 as well as your money. So you have another pistol round. And the eco starts over for both teams, so it gives the losing team a chance to bring things back when they, you know, may be down because they just can't buy the guns they need to finish off the round.
Okay, well that gives me a little bit more hope as someone who can't aim to save their life ever, and also as someone who's really bad at taking cover fast enough, considering this game's TTK is so gosh darn low.
It is incredibly low. Sova in the game, one of the characters, does love to say, if your aim is not good today, you can still be useful. And that is absolutely true here in Valorant. As we watch Legit Soldier pick up 2 headshots of his own. Dreammaker with the flank will get 1. Booty Bandito gets his own headshot. Are we going to see a round of all headshots? No. Bandito will pick up the 5th kill, but it is not with a headshot, though Boise State is up 7-0 in a commanding position. Just to go backwards, another thing to mention is that because information is so incredibly important here in Valorant, characters' different abilities can be used in ways that don't necessarily involve aim. For example, you may see on your screen, that guy on the left of the screen just a moment ago is called Sova. He's an archer that has all kinds of different arrows in his quiver. Some of them, when launched, can give recon bolts that show the location of enemies so that you can prepare for them without having to, you know, peek with your body and put your character into the line of fire there. There's also owl drones and things like that he can throw out to gain information. In fact, there's the owl drone in question. He can drive that around to gain information about enemies' locations without putting himself into direct harm's way. So information is absolutely key in Valorant, because the game is so deadly and you can be killed so quickly.
The other thing I'm noticing is, are these maps pretty gosh darn small? There's just a lot of turns.
They are not the biggest thing. Valorant, because information is... Ooh, wow. Very nice flick and a spray. Legit Soldier going to get the headshot there onto Cersei. The other thing that is important to note is, yes, the maps are quite small, but again, with information being so important, noise plays a huge factor in the game. So running is actually counterintuitive in most situations in Valorant. You want to walk almost everywhere possible because your footsteps make noise and enemies will hear them and know the direction that you're coming from. So the maps are sized enough so that you can walk from one end to the other in a relatively simple time. But in the event of emergency, you can sprint and make the noise you need in order to get somewhere faster. So you'll see players, once the round begins, actually moving quite slowly unless they're in the direct line of fire and need to get out of the way quickly. But for the most part, when they're sneaking and things like that, they do use the walk a lot because it means that their position is not getting hit by their footsteps.
Gotcha. Is the old trick of crouching and moving not a way to suppress your footstep noise in this game?
It actually, crouching and moving doesn't make a huge difference between the sound of walking and moving. There is a little bit of a difference if you're right up close next to somebody, but for the most part, walking is about as quiet as you need to be. The only difference is when you start running. And actually, in-game, you won't be able to see this as a spectator, but in-game, you get a little circle on your minimap that shows the radius in which your footsteps can be heard when you're sprinting, which can be useful sometimes.
Oh, well, that's actually really nice.
Yeah. So another really important aspect of Valorant is the ultimates. They are not necessarily always available, and they are earned in specific ways. A lot of people may come from a game like Overwatch, especially you, Nerdy Bird, where ults are gained in ways like healing and potentially tanking and doing damage and things like that. Almost none of those things will gain you ultimates here in Valorant. The way you're going to gain ultimate points are by picking up an ultimate orb, which will give you 1 little ultimate pip. Getting a kill will give you 1 pip. Dying will give you 1 pip. And planting the spike or defusing the spike will give you 1 pip. And you can see in the bottom side of each character's UI there, the number of pips they have available. They're represented as little diamonds above the little Q symbol there. Those are the number of pips needed to get their ultimate online, and the pips are saved from round to round so that when all the pips are active, their ultimate is available for use. That means you can use your ultimate whenever it's available, and they have pretty game-changing effects when used under the correct conditions and things like that.
Gotcha. So these aren't ultimates like a Genji Nanoblade or anything like that. What type of abilities can I expect from these ultimates?
We've got single character resurrections. None of your Mercy mass resurrection you had in vanilla Overwatch. And we've got the character on screen right now is Phoenix, played by Legit Soldier. He can run into a point, and when he dies, he will instantly res himself, kind of like a Tracer rewind, back at the point where he was originally standing when he activated the ultimate. You've got this character is called Omen. He has a global teleport. He can move anywhere on the point, or anywhere on the map whenever needed. You've got all kinds of things. You've got arrow shots that can go through walls, and that reveal characters that are hit. You've got, let's see what else we have. We have a character named Reyna. She is specifically based around getting kills. Every time she gets a kill, we've got a Reyna on both sides of our squads here. Boise State with 1, and the ICCU team with another. When Reyna activates her ultimate, her normal abilities become better in every way. She's based around getting kills, so when she gets a kill, she can either heal herself back up to full health using the soul of the dead person, or she can consume it to become invincible and drift around shortly for a short time. When she pops her ult, she can use it to fire her gun faster, move quicker, and when she kills somebody, she both resets herself to full health and can turn invisible for a short time, which isn't very long by most game standards, but in Valorant it is long enough to be an absolute menace.
Joke's over! You're
okay,
dead.
well, I'm very confused now because some of these abilities sound like could have come from a scientific accident, they were created by science, or they're just superhuman. So I gotta know, like, is there legitimate reward for Valorant, or is it kind of just shots in the dark right now?
There is and there isn't. There are small character interactions at the beginning of each round, and some of them do hint at deeper lore. But the development team seems content to release that lore only by continued snippets of character interactions. We don't have any PvE mode, no story mode in this game. We don't have any cinematic shorts that tell the backstories of each character, just little moments between characters at the beginning of each round that give you hints as to where they may have come from and what their backstory may be. Although I do believe there are a couple comics that may have been released, but I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that. As we are on match point here, and it is important to note that we have now switched sides. After the 10th round, Boise State has become the attackers, and the green team ICCU have become the defenders. So now their roles are reversed. Boise State has become the blue team, and their silhouettes will be highlighted in blue rather than red, as they are the attackers. The ICCU show match team will be highlighted in red, as they are the defenders. So that will be important to note as we continue here. Dreammaker picks up a headshot onto Waldo Sanchez with his Sheriff. And answered back, we have 2 kills from the Frenzy,
Spike
1 on Legit
planted.
Soldier with a headshot, and Lycan spraying down with the Ghost as Jumping Armadillo is hiding in the corner.
Flawless.
And he will get picked off by Lycan with a headshot.
Attackers
A
win.
quick 13-0 victory for Boise State there as Green Team go down 1-0 in our best of 3 as we open up here during this show match.
So there's still 2 more maps to go, right?
Potentially, if our ICCU show match team can answer back with map win of their own, we will head to a map 3 in the event that Boise State wins 1 more. That will be our 2 and done.
Okay, so just to verify, the next map, the goal is still going to be for the attacking team to plant a bomb and hopefully have it go off or kill everybody on the defending side before the bomb goes off, and that's it?
Absolutely. The
Okay.
map will change, and each map actually has something unique about it that sets it apart not only from other maps in Valorant, but a lot of maps that you will find in similar, kind of Counter-Strike-like games. So there is a map that has teleporters. There is a map that has zip lines. There is a map that has these doors that can be destroyed and opened and closed to provide cover for when you need it and things like that. So will be interesting to see which map we go to as we head into our second game here. Just want to remind everybody that Boise State esports program is always looking for talented players, casters, and broadcast team. Don't be afraid to visit boisestate.edu/esports where you can get more information and you can potentially join our teams, things like that, and potentially even get scholarships for some of your contributions to the Boise State esports program, as well as that must be combined, obviously, with good grades and eligibility and things like that. So go check out boisestate.edu/esports for more information about those opportunities that are available to you here in the esports program. As we appear to be loading into our second match, it'll be interesting to see where we go for our second map in this Boise State show match between the Boise State Broncos green team and the ICCU show match team here, as we just get to enjoy a little bit of what makes Valorant great and get some more exposure to the game, introduce maybe some viewers out there on Twitch as to what makes the game cool who may not be familiar with it. I know I'm having fun teaching Nerdy Bird about all the ins and outs of Valorant and what makes it cool.
Yeah, because I totally am going to be an expert by the end of this broadcast. Not really, but I kind of understand what's going on.
Well, what else is confusing for you? Let me see if I can clear things up.
It's not really that it's confusing. It's just like the ability usage and stuff like that. When like in Overwatch, there's such like importance placed on the timing of each ability usage, and I'm seeing these abilities get used like so fast out the gate when the spawn door drops, so to speak, that little barrier that's projected. Once that goes down, I'm seeing them immediately use these abilities, and granted, it is a smaller map, and obviously the range of these abilities is probably a lot larger than I fully comprehend, and that's how they're supposed to be used, but I'm like, what information did that just give you? Because from what I saw, it was nothing, but...
It'll be interesting. As we load into our second map, I'll make sure to point out the ability usage and what that could potentially gain for everybody out there, so we can highlight a little bit more of what makes the abilities impactful in each different match of Valorant. Each agent has their own unique set of abilities, and the team comps that you put together can make a huge impact into what's possible and what can and can't be done. There's actually a new agent released in the most recent patch. I'm not entirely sure. I believe this match was played on the most recent patch. It came out about a week ago, and that provided a new agent named Sky. She is from Australia, and her abilities are all themed around animals and, nature. So she has a blind, a bird that flies out and explodes and can blind enemies who are within line of sight. She has a little magic tiger thing that can chase people down, and if it attacks them, they become concussed for a short time. As we take a look really quickly here, we're going to get a look. For the first time, we're bringing you some pictures of the team. We have pictures of Legit Soldier, Lycan, and Your Hat from the Boise State team. And rounding out the team for the ICCU show match team, we have Pickle Fork, Jumping Armadillo, Chris Seckel, Waldo, and Casket. Big thank you to everybody who participated in this match. It was a lot of fun, and we're really appreciating the opportunity that we have to bring this to everybody and just explore what makes Valorant great. It's going to be quite a fun game as we launch into the brand new map. This one is called Icebox, and it only came out last month, so this is going to be a fun one to see checked out. This is the first game that I have cast for the Broncos where competitive play has taken place on Icebox, because I believe competitive play only came to Icebox, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so even though it's a new map, can you tell me what makes this map special?
This map is special because it has zip lines that can move you from one end of the point to the other. Incredibly clack. We're going to get a view of one right there. Right above Your Hat is a zip line that can lead you directly onto A point. it will impact. You move quickly, you move loudly, and your aim is bad while you're on the zip line. But while you're on it, you can get onto the point incredibly quickly in the event that you need to take advantage of somebody who is out of position and plant that bomb. There's also, it is built up of a lot of very long sight lines. There are players who like this and players who don't, obviously, but it lends itself to a lot of rifles and long-range weapons because the sight lines can be so big. As the Broncos are incredibly aggressive here, pushing right up to the attacker spawn door, and it doesn't even matter, they'll pick up the flawless, not a single person dropping on Boise State. I'm not even sure any of them took damage. Their health bars all looked completely full by the time that round was over.
And just to reiterate from earlier, this round is probably what we're going to see, at least from the Boise State side, the last time they'll be using pistols, because by the next round they should have enough to be getting kind of larger weapons, so to speak.
Absolutely. By the time you hit the second round, or the second and third round, the winning team will usually have longer guns on hand. You will see a couple pistols. I believe I saw your hat floating a ghost, and the attacking team will almost certainly be carrying pistols, as they will not have enough money to buy any longer guns for the most part anyway. So you'll see Waldo Sanchez there carrying the Sheriff, as this is what is generally referred to as the second pistol round. Your hat with the Spectre, going to get the spray down, taking out 2 of his own over on A site, and he's going to pick up the that ult orb, which will give him 1 more ult chip to activate his ult. I am not sure how you got behind somebody like that, Booty Bandito, but he will take full advantage and pick up a kill onto the Rays, playing for the ICCU there, as Boise State pick up another quick 2-0, looking utterly dominant in this fun show match. You guys might want to calm down just a little bit. This is supposed to be for fun, isn't it?
I mean, yes, but is it fun if you're not trying your hardest?
I don't know. I guess not. You gotta push. No mercy in this dojo. We do not have any time for that weakness of heart here. We go hard all the time.
Absolutely, no matter what, 100%, every day, every time. You don't know what a show match is, you don't know what a real match is. You play in both of them, the same thing.
Absolutely. Pickle Fork does get a tag up onto the shoulder there of the Breach on Boise State, but it will not confirm a kill. Breach will send his stun in. Pickle Fork will be slightly disabled. You could see that ringing kind of, shell shock effect as they were stunned, unable to move, and susceptible to damage at that point. Dreammaker will take down one with a headshot of his own, as Boise State go up quick with a 2. Wow. Never mind. Not 2 players remaining on ICCU's side. We are just going to have one, as Boise State with another flawless. A quick 3-0 here on Icebox. As we launch in, we're going to take another quick look at your wonderful casters. Hi. We are going to load back in. So it looks like now that we're launching into the third round, ICCU will probably be buying rifles or long guns of some kind. Boise State have had those for a little bit now. Probably going for the kind of the gold standard, unless you're going to play for something incredibly expensive but incredibly dangerous, like the Odin or the Operator. The gold standard are kind of the 2 assault rifles in the game, the Phantom and the Vandal. As Dreammaker using the Phantom there, he will pick up that kill, and Booty Bandito is an example of the Vandal, as 4 quick kills come in between Booty Bandito and Dreammaker. The 2 of them are going to clean house and put us up 4 rounds to 0 as they pick up another flawless. Boise State have not died yet on Icebox. It's filthy. It's
dirty, it's mean, but it's called playing with your food.
They're absolutely playing with their food. They're like a cat toying with a mouse before they finish it off. It's just sickening to watch. Ugh. So really quickly, before we launch into the next round, I want to talk very quickly about the interesting team compositions that Boise State and ICCU have gone for here. Boise State, if you'll notice, has gone for an incredibly aggressive team comp. The agents that they have chosen all have blinds and offensive abilities that disable the enemies to make pushing into the enemy as easy as possible, which tends to fit their playstyle because they have 1 speed and it's fast.
Well, that's a theme that exists across, I think, multiple Boise State games and multiple Boise State teams. I actually was about to ask, is there a meta that exists? Because, in Overwatch, before they enforced the 2-2-2, it was kind of based off the nerfs and buffs that came through, still more or less standard for the first few seasons. You need 2-2-2, and then it was 3-3. So is there classifications of operators in this case that these characters will then fall under, and you try to make sure you cover your bases with, or not at all?
There absolutely are. We have duelists, which are generally built for incredibly aggressive fragging through their abilities, or putting themselves in a position to just get good gunplay. you have initiators, such as Breach, who just got his head taken off there by jumping Armadillo. He sets his team up to push into the enemy, kind of pushing the enemy out of position and pushing your team into position. You have controllers like Omen, who are specializing in slicing up dangerous territory.
30 seconds
they
left.
put down smoke walls, they put down blinding things. They carve up dangerous territory so that their team can push into it relatively safely. And then last but not least, you have Sentinels, who are defensive characters. They specialize in locking down areas that your team has already taken a hold of and making it extremely difficult for enemies to enter those areas. So you're going to have, and it's not necessarily like Overwatch where you need, it's like, oh, you have to have people in this role or you're going to lose. The roles are kind of secondary to what the character's abilities are. So in this instance, you'll actually see Boise State running three duelists, one controller and one initiator. No sentinels whatsoever. And that probably fits their playstyle of extreme aggression, no defense. But you'll potentially see, in fact, a very popular comp with in professional play is to run two initiators. Both Sova and Breach can set their teams up incredibly well for engagement. So it's less about the role that these people find themselves in and more about what each individual operator brings to the table.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh, tag up there from Waldo Sanchez onto Your Hat, and he will pick up the kill. Oh, apologies. Your Hat has gone off. Your Hat was normally our Omen specialist here for the Boise State Green squad, but it appears Lycan has taken over the Omen for this particular round. I'm not sure who Your Hat has switched to. Dreammaker will be playing your Reyna. She's the character mentioned earlier who specializes in kills. If you don't get kills, Reyna's a pretty garbage tier character, but as soon as you start getting kills, she is a nightmare to try and take down. It appears we also have Casket running our only Sova on the server here. Sova specializes in gathering information as an initiator. Breach is another kind of initiator. He will push enemies out of position and put himself into position by blinding them and concussing them so that they become vulnerable. That's a good example of a concussive right there. Breach senses concussive in, puts all of ICCU stunned up, and the rest of the Boise State duelists pounce and take everybody down during that brief moment where they can't move and can't aim as well as they'd like to. And now Boise just hiding in a corner, actually with the spray through the blind, will get a lucky headshot onto Legit Soldier. That was incredibly well played, setting himself up for success there, but a 4v1 peek from multiple angles. That is never going to go your way as Boise State will go up with a quick 7-0. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I just now noticed that there's actually a mini-map. I'm just not used to playing a game that has a mini-map anymore.
It's actually really helpful. I actually find, and new players will find themselves in the trap of looking at the minimap more than they should and not enough at the game. Because if you will notice, look closely at the minimap, you can see the cones of vision. You can't see your enemies, obviously, but you can see the cones of vision that your allies have. So you can rely on your teammates to lock down angles because you can't be expected to watch all angles at all the time. So the teamwork that fosters allows your teammates to help you watch angles that you can't, and you can know where they're using those vision cones. Wow, Dreammaker with a second one takes the head off of Waldo Sanchez with the op there, but they will answer with one back, so Boise State down 4-2. Still at a man advantage, but we'll see if Jumping Armadillo, who does have the spike and is on point, if he can get that count down. You know, maybe the ICCU team just, they don't thrive well on the attacking side, but once they've locked down the point and they have the spike down, they may find themselves with a little bit more success. We'll see if he goes ahead to plant this. He appears to be rotating away from the point. He's coming in to help his buddy Pickle Fork, as he will pick up a kill of his own using that Phantom. It's down to 2v2, and the breach on Boise State is incredibly tagged up. ICCU actually with the advantage as we head into the second part of this round. In fact, if the Sage on ICCU would like to, she does have that res available. So she can res a teammate of hers if she can get them into a safe position where they won't be immediately taken down again by somebody on Boise State's squad. ICCU potentially with our first round victory here, although they do have to hurry. There are only 30 seconds left until the round is over. I should mention that if the timer expires before the attackers plant the bomb, the defenders win by default.
I'm intensely watching what's going on right now because I want to see this res ability used, but I feel like there's going to be a death before it can happen.
It's very possible. They have. I don't think Pickle Fork has any idea that there is a breach hiding right above his head, right behind him.
One enemy remaining.
And there it is. Legit Soldier will take down on Jumping Armadillo. Pickle Fork does not have the time to res anybody and will instantly get taken down by Your Hat. Unfortunate that we do not get to see the res ability there from Pickle Fork.
Darn it.
You'll know. I did want to point out though that you would notice that during that time everybody was walking, even a lot of people crouching for that extra little bit of concealability, so your head doesn't peek over an angle where somebody could potentially see it. During those tense moments when everybody's position is not necessarily a given, you will see most characters walking there so that their footsteps don't give them away.
So what you're telling me is I really need to have my game sounds turned up if I play this game.
Or play with headphones. Both are excellent ways to give yourself an advantage. There's also a handy little feature that can change whether the default mode of walking is walking or sprinting. And then it will change whether shift is the sprint key or the walk key.
Gotcha.
Spray coming here through from Casket. Unlucky. He's trying to get somebody through the smoke there, but will not get anybody. Booty Bandito instead will pick up 2 using that Vandal as Pickle Fork once again in the same location as last round. Not as lucky as last round, though, and will get instantly taken out. It's just Jumping Armadillo left on the Phoenix. Does not have the run it back yet, but if he can pick up a kill, he may be able to channel that into... Oh, he does get the kill. Does he activate the ult here to try to pick himself up? Any additional kills? Oh, I don't know if that was seen. He will avoid the blind. There's the ult coming in from Jumping Armadillo. See, he dies, but he comes back to life in the location where he activated the ult. But it doesn't matter because Legit Soldier came in on the flank and will take him down from the unwatched side as Boise State pick up their 9th round in this rather brutal show match against the ICCU Go Green team.
I just want to see a res happen. Can I see a res, please?
I don't know. That's not up to me. You got to tell Boise State to chill if we want to see any reses. They're playing way too dominant for that to happen. One thing to note is that reses can be taken down instantly. In Overwatch, as you're probably familiar with, the Mercy res gives the character a brief moment of invulnerability after a res. That is not the case here in Valorant. If you res somebody in an unsafe position, they can just be instantly headshot and taken down again. So sometimes you have to set up yourself for success to use a res in the correct location as the Rolling Thunder comes in there from Legit Soldier, and he will capitalize using the Bowie with the Vandal to pick up 3 swift kills. And it's just Pickle Fork left alive once again.
Oh,
Pickle Fork. And all of his teammates are on the other side of the map. The res is not going to happen.
Oh, Pickle Fork.
Oh, it's so sad to see. Poor guy. Another flawless from Boise State. I'm not sure when the last time they dropped somebody in a round was. Potentially that round 2 or 3 ago, where they had a 2v2 in the later stages of the round. It's been pretty dominant, though.
I have to, yeah. I feel like that one loss was actually a fluke, but that's okay. There's still a chance. We still have a round swap too, right?
Yes, after 12 rounds, the sides will be swapped and Boise State will become the attackers, and maybe ICCU will have more luck playing as the defenders. Although the first thing they need to do is grab the spike from their spawn. They have a tough time winning the round. Although I'm not sure it's going to matter. Picking up 2 of their own. Cersei with the op finally saved himself up enough money to buy the op and get a pick on the low Lycan, and unfortunately, the quick kills come in. Booty Bandito and his compatriot Dreammaker there peeking at the same time, not giving the opportunity for any 1v1s as we head into our last round before the sides are swapped. You want to spend every last credit you have because you will not get to carry any abilities, any ults, or any guns over to the other side of the map.
Buy the biggest and coolest weapon you can.
You absolutely should. If you got the money, you can buy the op if you think you can be trusted with it. However, if you lose the op, it is worth 5,000 credits. You can only hold 9,000 credits at a time. The op is worth 5,000 credits, so if you buy it and drop it and give it away to the enemy team because they can pick it up, that is a huge credit swing in terms of money spent that you just gave away for free.
Yikes.
Yeah. Dreammaker with a very quick headshot. That's how quick time to kill is in this game. You only have to make a split-second mistake to get your head taken off. As Jumping Armadillo is boxed in on all sides and valiantly tries to spray down any enemies, but will not happen there as Cersei. Don't do it. Okay, good. I'm proud of Cersei. He did not pick up the ult orb. It makes a very loud noise the enemies can hear if they hear the ult orb being triggered. Would not have been worth it to try and grab that orb, especially as you will lose all of your ult progress as we swap sides in the map. Quick kill here, potentially, and we'll get it. Yes, the spray goes well, and with a headshot, Dreammaker will fall. There's the Omen teleport coming in. It was denied. I don't know if I would have taken that out if I were Cersei. You could have let the Omen teleport go through and then picked up a free kill. It was, but that's all right. As the shots ring through, the op coming in. Oh, the spray pins, and Cersei will pick up another unlegit soldier, but Rudy Bandito will avenge his fallen comrade with a wall bang. Gets the quick kill using the operator
Match
there.
point.
That is another interesting point we have yet to bring up so far in our cast. Unlike a lot of other first-person shooters, Overwatch included, you can do damage through walls. Bullets will travel, and some guns have better wall penetration than others. So, you know, if you know where an enemy is and they're through a thin wall, by all means keep on spraying bullets because you might just take them down through the wall.
That's actually a Call of Duty ability.
It is a Call of Duty ability, absolutely. Not unique to Valorant in any way, shape, or form, but it is different from a lot of other first-person shooters people may have played, specifically Overwatch. So any new viewers may be interested to know about that if they decide to jump into Valorant.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had to re-familiarize myself with the idea of being able to get shot through game objects again when I was playing Call of Duty.
It does take some getting used to, for sure. It took me a while to... I'd never been that big into Call of Duty, so it did take me quite a while to get into as well when I started playing Valorant. Legit Soldier, Boise State have out-rotated the ICCU green team and are immediately sitting on the point. They have planted the spike, and now they have to defend it against the ICCU green team retake. As interestingly here, we have two members pushing from the exact same angle. This can be dangerous, but it can also sometimes work out for you. Legit Soldier will pick up 3 in the round, 2 headshots, finishing us off as Boise State is victorious with a quick 26-0 victory over the ICCU show match team there. It was brutal. It was not kind in any way, shape, or form. But Idaho Central Credit Union does have corporate gaming teams and employees, and they are known as the Green Team. They were taking on a varsity program here at Boise State, and they have been doing a show match here at Boise State in 6 different titles. They are playing StarCraft 2, Valorant, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Rocket League, Overwatch, and League of Legends. So be sure to tune in for any of those if you're interested in seeing more of the show matches here between Idaho Central Credit Union and Boise State. And coming up here after the match, I do believe we have an interview with a player of the ICCU team, as we're going to see their thoughts on that match and how it went, and things like that. So shortly here, we will have that for you. We'll bring it in, and we are going to take a quick break, and StarCraft will be coming up next, so we will see you for that.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.